Hi there, my magical star beings. This is Psychic Siren Tara, and welcome to the channel. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at what changes are they noticing about you, the person on your mind. So take a look at all these piles we have today with the person on your mind and this question in your mind, and see which pile you're most drawn to. Please also be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates and leave the rest. I'm now going to show you your crystals for each pile. So for pile number 1, we have Howlite. For pile number 2, we have Fire Agate. And for pile number 3, we have this blue lace agate crystal. I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Pick whichever pile you're most drawn to, the one that is calling out to your soul the most, and that will be your pile for today. Once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I will see you at your reading. Hi there, my pile number 1s. If you chose this Howlite crystal, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at what changes are they noticing about you, the person on your mind. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. You chose the card Death and Rebirth with Darkness to Light. I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of your cards. Let's see what shows up today. Okay, so for your cards, we have Earth Magic with Fearlessness and Removing Obstacles. We have Opening Heart with Deep Connections and Water Blessings. We have Portal with Infinite Mind and Awakening Consciousness. We have Sacred Purpose with Eternal Flame and Ancestral Legacy. And for your tarot cards, we have the Three of Swords, we have the Five of Pentacles, we have the Star. I'm hearing a bird outside as I pull your cards. Some of you may be connected to birds. We have the Six of Pentacles. And lastly, we have the Moon card. Okay, my pile number 1s, in terms of what changes this person is noticing about you, I'm seeing here that you, my pile number 1s, have been on a healing journey, and the healing journey that you're on, I think this person is noticing changes within you as you rebirth yourself with the Death and Rebirth card, Darkness to Light. And this is going to sound a little embarrassing, but when I started your reading, when I was organizing the cards, I tried to sit back down and then I fell down off my chair, like the chair just went in. And I feel like that is a metaphor for something that happened here in the past, because I never have that happen with my chair. Like, there's, if I can explain it, it's like a metal thing underneath, and then it stays in place unless it moves, and I didn't move it, so it's very weird. Anyways, I feel like there's something here that really knocked you off course in your life in the past, and I feel like what this person is starting to notice about you, the changes they're starting to notice about you, I think this has already happened a while ago, but it's happening more now. One thing this person has noticed as a change within you is your ability to walk away from toxic people, things, and situations that aren't serving you anymore. And you know, you may have physically left those things a while ago, because I feel like you've been on the healing journey for a while now. But when I talk about leaving it behind, I'm also talking about not just physically, but the emotional nature of it. And what I mean by this is, let's say some of you are healing like from family wounds. I'm seeing a fatherly energy. Some of you are healing from father wounds, and some of you are healing from family wounds of the past, and some of you are healing from toxic connections with people, and like from betrayals and things like that. And I see here it's more so the energy of not just physically leaving it behind, but emotionally leaving that once we process those emotions and the heartbreak associated to it. Because we can't just leave it behind and let it go unless we've processed it in our heart first. So you've been healing your heartbreak, and this is what this person has been noticing about you, how you've kind of been... I'm hearing a song by Howlite, and the lines are picking the pieces together of our heart. Never looking back, no, no, never. Leave behind stormy weather, body, mind, and soul forever. So I'm hearing those lyrics, and it's like she's picking the pieces back of her heart, sewing them together, the broken pieces, and she's like leaving behind these stormy weathers of the past. She's leaving that behind to find her own peace of mind. And that's what the song basically is. And I feel like this is what this person has been noticing about you, the changes they've been noticing. I just saw 333. So there's something about here, like you picking those pieces back up of your heart, healing it, mending it, and not only that, rebuilding that sense of safety within yourself, because I feel like you've been rebirthing yourself, you've been rebirthing your emotions, and I feel like there's also womb healing taking place for some of you. And with the tree here and earth magic, fearlessness, removing obstacles, I feel some of you root chakra healing. And what I mean by this is some of you are healing your heart space, whereas others of you are healing that space of you that needs safety, that needs, you know, secureness within yourself. Because when the root chakra is blocked, it kind of gets blocked from feeling a lot of fear in our lives, feeling like we're not safe, like we're not secure, like we don't have all our needs met emotionally and physically. So there's something here about that, and the sacral chakra energies is like healing the confidence, healing the womb space, healing our relationship to our body and how we feel about ourselves, that kind of energy. And I'm feeling a pain in my left foot, so I feel for most of you it's root chakra healing, because the foot relates to, it's where we put our feet on the ground and ground. So I think grounding would be very beneficial for some of you. That's something I'm seeing. But what this person has been noticing as a change within you is because there's something here about some of you once having a lot of anxiousness, once having a lot of worries, and maybe you still deal with this, but it's like Spirit is showing me a horseshoe. I wonder what that means. Let me just see. Okay, a horseshoe is a fabricated product designed to protect a horse hoof from wear. Shoes are attached on the palmar surface of the hooves, usually nailed through the insensitive hoof wall. And they're used for horses, and we have a horse here. That's so interesting. And horses to me represent freedom. So it's like you've been freeing yourself of those emotions, and as we speak about feet, it's like you've been maybe protecting yourself, because a horseshoe, is put on the horse to protect their hooves. It's like you've been protecting your peace of mind, and that is the changes that this person has noticed within you. You've just been protecting your peace of mind, where you only put yourself in spaces where you feel safe and you feel secure, and it's like healthy spaces. It's not like you're going back to spaces where I'm hearing that saying, like, if you get sick in a certain place, you can't go back there and expect not to get sick. Like, you can't get healthy or heal being in the same environment that made you sick. So that's kind of what I'm hearing. So the horseshoe is universally known as a symbol of protection and good luck, and it wards off evil and misfortune. Okay, so it's like you've literally been protecting your peace, and as you do so, maybe you've been having more good luck. But what I'm seeing about anxiety is this energy of the past, and maybe the things certain people did to you in the past or said to you, or certain ways they acted with you that made you feel this way, if that makes sense. And it can be many different examples of things, but I feel like you've been learning to see your anxiety differently, or your worries differently, where you see it as it's just trying to protect you. It's just your inner child being scared and trying to protect you. But it's almost like, okay, I think you've been seeing it in a different perspective, where you're like nurturing and comforting your inner child so that they can feel safe enough to not have to protect themselves anymore. It's like with the 5 of Pentacles, you've been giving your inner child, that childlike version of you, what it needs in order to feel safe. And there's something about here, you telling your inner child, it's safe now, we no longer have to protect ourselves. And you've been seeing it in a different perspective, where you don't see it as bad, but rather, the mind creates that naturally to try and protect us. So that's something I see here of the changes this person has noticed within you. I think this person's noticed how you are dealing with these emotions that come up. So before we continue with your reading, my pile number ones, I do have a small favor to ask from you. The last 3 months, 77% of people who watch my channel didn't subscribe. So if you've ever liked any of the videos I've posted, if you like this channel, if you like this video so far, can you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button? It helps my channel more than you know. And the bigger the channel gets, the more content I can put out and create for you guys. Thank you for all your support and love. I'm sending you so much gratitude from my heart and so much love, and enjoy the rest of the reading. So yeah, I feel like you've been viewing these emotions in a different way, seeing them in a different light or different perspective, where you've been listening to your emotions and honoring them. And that is creating some kind of change within you, where you are rebirthing yourself. And the Star card talks about healing. So this person has noticed you healing these wounds, healing the betrayal wounds, healing the wounds from having toxic people around you, healing the wounds of disappointment, healing the wounds of not feeling safe, not feeling secure, giving yourself what you always needed emotionally and physically, and reparenting yourself is the word I'm hearing. And this is the changes this person has been noticing in you. But not only that, you've been curious as to why certain things are the way they are. And what I mean by this is, same example with the anxiety. Let's say we have someone over here that is projecting onto us, and maybe they're shouting at us, and it's totally unfair the way they're shouting at us. It's not, what is the word? It's not called for. That's the word I'm hearing. And, we're trying to get curious as to, why is this person the way they are? Why do they get angry so fast? I think as you've been working through your own healing, it's not only getting curious towards other people's shadow self, but also your own, and why we do certain things, why we react in certain ways. Maybe it's been more towards yourself, or for some of you towards others as well. As you've been noticing it within yourself, you also notice it within others. But the feeling I get here is like you've been curious as to why we react that way. And I think you've been realizing how we all have that wounded inner child within us. And what I always explain is the shadow self is this scared little dog, and this dog has been traumatized so much, put in so much fear into this dog, and this dog is now scared, and when we go and touch this dog, it bites us. And when we think this dog is being bad, but it's just scared. And that's what the shadow self basically is. It's that repressed side of us. It's the side of us that no one accepted. It's a side of us that felt like it didn't belong, that felt rejected, that felt unworthy. It's that side of us that has been wounded and hurt and is reacting out of something, out of their own wound. So you've been noticing this in yourself or others, or both, and it's like you've been really understanding the illusions behind it. Like, an example I can give is, the one day I had a download, and I basically saw that we have an illusion as humans of separation, because we always, yes, we need love, yes, we need community around us. It's very important, and it's a normal human thing to want that around us. But then sometimes we have this idea that we are separated from love. And I had a download that, if I don't know how true this is, but this is just what I saw from my spirit guides. If our heart is pumping blood to our body, and our heart space is basically doing the same thing in the spiritual realms. I don't know how to explain it, but I saw like a mirroring of energies. Like in the spirit realms, our heart is constantly pumping out love to ourselves, but we don't necessarily feel it in our bodies or anything like that. So the illusion of being separate from love is never true. It's an illusion. That's just an example of the energy. Or maybe you realize, okay, there's an illusion here of, if I stay within my fear and I listen to my fear, I'm going to be in the same place, that kind of illusion. And maybe we need to investigate that fear and be curious as to why it's there. That's just another example of the energy, but I feel like you've been uncovering the shadow self, the wounded self, the repressed self, the wounded inner child, and you've been rebirthing yourself. And this is the changes this person has been noticing in you. Your curiosity towards your own mind and emotional nature in order to work through it. Some of you have been doing shadow work. Some of you have been going into esoteric knowledge, I'm hearing. And some of you have been reading self-help books or getting curious as to why certain emotions are there, and you've been learning from your emotions. And this is what this person has been noticing in you, the changes. Okay, because I feel here you've been more comfortable with your vulnerability and with your emotions. And I'm seeing some of you have been journaling, and this person notices that change within you, notices you becoming more fearless, or at least calming down that part of you that has that fear, nurturing that part of you that has that fear. This person has been noticing you and noticing the change within you as growth and as coming to wholeness, rebirthing yourself in your healing journey. Spirit is showing me a lotus flower, and the lotus flower starts off as a seed in the mud, and then it grows into the water, and the water is a representation of healing. The mud is a representation of the hurt and the pain and the darkness we go through. And then it blooms into a beautiful lotus flower, pink lotus flower above the water. And I'm seeing the color pink lotus flower because pink is to do with love and the heart space. So I feel like this person has just been noticing you come to wholeness within your own heart space, like that lyrics are, picking the pieces back up of your heart and stitching them together. And Spirit is showing me something another person said to me the other day. In some country there is when something is broken, they pour gold into it or something like that. I can't remember exactly what the story is. I'm seeing an image of that, like you picking up the pieces of your heart and then like pouring gold into those cracks. And the gold can represent you giving yourself what was valuable to you that you never received in your childhood or younger years, and nurturing that side of you. And that can bring a lot of healing. And this is what this person has noticed as a change within you. You becoming more nurturing to yourself. Because I feel like you've always been a giver, my pile number ones. You've always been an empathetic person, someone that has a big heart, a heart of gold. But it's like now you've started giving to yourself more and nurturing yourself more and having more compassion towards your own feelings and listening to your own feelings. And that is a change this person has noticed within you, how you've been listening to your feelings instead of judging them. And I think you've just been learning from them, as each emotion has something great to teach us. And I feel like some of you have been shamans in past lives, and you are really just transmuting those wounded parts of yourself. And like I saw with the gold, it's like wounded healer energy. This is what I feel here. As you heal yourself, you're able to extend that same healing to others from that wisdom you learn, but also from that gold you find within yourself. It's like you take your heart that was once broken, you fix it up, you heal it up, but then you make it even more greater than what it was before, like with the gold. Does that make sense? So that's something I see. It's like you are going through some kind of, I'm hearing vision quest. As you heal yourself, it's like you're becoming more pure for more light to come in so that you can understand others more, and you're freeing yourself of, the past and those past hurts and pains, but also opening your heart as you heal your heart. To deeper connections, to things in your life, not just connections, but like friendships, to loving yourself. You're opening your heart to changes in your life as well, like in terms of career and in terms of your hobbies, your goals. You're opening your heart to newness is the feeling I get here. And that is what this person has noticed within you, the changes. Like you're just freeing yourself. And I think there's something here about you being the wounded healer and healing yourself first. I'm hearing Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. If you want to go Google the story of Chiron, it's very interesting. But it's like you are healing yourself so that you can one day have that wisdom to heal others and to understand others and free them of that too. Okay, so those are the changes this person has been noticing within you. And as you heal yourself, you've also been releasing constraints. You've been freeing yourself. That's something I see here. And I also feel like this person has been noticing a change within you where you've become more grateful for where you are right now. It's like you're no longer in the physical toxicity of where you once were. You know, you're starting to heal, you're starting to bloom like that lotus flower, but you're also no longer yet where you want to be. It's like an in-between stage. And Spirit is showing me a poem by Alexis Rakan. I love her art, where she talks about the in-between phases of blooming into a butterfly. I'm just going to try find it. So the poem is, nobody ever talks about this part. You know, the part where you're no longer a caterpillar and not yet a butterfly. You don't know who you are and you don't know where you're going. All you know is that every fiber of your being is calling for transformation, for disruption, for a revolution of the spirit. So surrender, break down. This is not the death of you. This is the dying of who you once were. This is your rebirth, darling. And these are called growing pains. And it's so interesting that rebirth is mentioned, since we have a card of rebirth here. It's like you're literally rebirthing yourself. I'm hearing you're the phoenix and you're always going to rise above whatever has hurt you in the past. It's like you are so powerful, so strong, so resilient, and you know that inner child version of you, or whatever age you were when you experienced these heartaches and these hard pains, you know, you didn't deserve it at all, my pal number ones. You never deserved any of it. But it's like sometimes we can't always control what happens to us in life. Sometimes life just happens. But then it's also our responsibility to heal that within us. Okay, so I feel like this person has been noticing you transform, has been noticing you rebirth, where you're not really sure who you are yet, but you are busy transforming into that butterfly. You know what I mean? And we have a 111 here. I didn't plan this, but these two cards came next to each other, so that's very cool. It's very divine energies here for you, my pal ones. I think as you go through this journey, you're going to realize how many healing gifts you have, and it's going to bring you closer to your purpose. And this doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a healer. It just means you can extend this healing to yourself and loved ones, or in whatever means you want. There's endless opportunities out there for you to use this gift in a way, but I feel like you are currently reclaiming your power, and you are transforming, you're rebirthing yourself and healing your heart, coming back to your heart space instead of fear. And that's something I see here, a change this person has noticed within you. But you've also been opening your heart to new friendships, to new opportunities, to new things you can put your focus on. And you've been more optimistic for the future, more grateful, more in that energy of gratitude and prayer. And that's the kind of energy I see here. And you've also been opening your heart up to more love. In terms of the romantic sense, like a compassionate and true love that allows you to be yourself, but also it's healthy and it's emotionally vulnerable, and it's tender and it's true, and that's the feeling I get here. And that's a change this person has been noticing within you. And these changes are beyond what your mind can comprehend, because something about the changes you're going through right now, this rebirth, this transformation you're going through, is awakening you to a deeper part of yourself. And it's also balancing out your emotions, but it's also helping future you. So future you is going to thank you for the healing that you've done on yourself and these changes and transformations you've been going through. And it's like, I feel like you also, as you heal yourself, you're also going to be more in touch with your intuition and other gifts you have that bring you a lot of this type of passionate energy for life as you step into this new portal of where you're going. It's like I see this new version of you being extremely happy, being just like one with and flowing with your life, if that makes sense, and like being extremely playful, being extremely happy. And I'm hearing a ringing in my ear as I say that, having a lot of love around you, having a lot of opportunities around you. And it's like I just see you being really optimistic about life in this next phase of your life. So the ringing in my ears is that, yes, confirmation. But I'm also seeing grapes. I just want to find out what the spiritual meaning of that is. But with purpose, it doesn't necessarily mean a purpose within career. It just means you're finding purpose in your own life. You're finding that joy for your own life. Purpose in everything you do. Purpose in your connections. Purpose in, your hobbies. Things that you enjoy. And that is the feeling I get here. So the spiritual meaning of grapes symbolize harvest. So whatever work you're putting into yourself right now is harvesting as an abundance of whatever you want in your life. And what I mean by this is, let's say, for example, you are healing the fear. And now, what does that do? It creates a ripple effect in your life where that hard work you gave onto yourself or gave to yourself as healing, it's like now you can go after, for example, an opportunity you've always been scared to go after. And it creates a ripple effect in your life where you harvest those blessings. That's just an example of it. But like you being generous to this new version of yourself, this future version of yourself is creating a lot of changes in you. And I think this person just sees your potential of who you're going to transform into, like the butterfly, like the type of butterfly you're going to transform into. And I think this is what this person is noticing within you, the changes, and how as you do this, you're going to gain a lot of blessings in your life. Not just for healing, but like another example I can give is, let's say, you heal your heart. Now you're open to new connections. Maybe you've always wanted new connections, but like, you weren't in a space yet to get that. Or maybe you feel more love in your connections where you are right now. Maybe you feel more happiness because it's like no like heavy emotions are holding you down. So it's like, as you do this, you bless yourself, if that makes sense. With the 6 of Pentacles, as you put in that work in yourself, it's like you bless yourself. And I think this person sees your potential and who you are changing into for the better, who you are rebirthing into, who you're transforming into. And I think this person's very happy for you, my pal number ones. So this is what I see in your reading. I really hope that this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi there, my pal number twos. If you chose this fire agate crystal, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at the changes this person on your mind is noticing about you. So you chose the card Courage with Strength, Fierceness, and Family. I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of your cards, but before I do, please note this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. Okay, so for your cards, we have innovation with new creations. We have idyllic times with the garden and paradise. We have abundance with fortune, wealth, and plenty. We have adjustment with looking back and moving forward. We have the Lovers. We have the Fool. We have the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Strength card. And lastly, we have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so my pile number 2s, now that we have your cards laid out, I see exactly what changes this person is noticing about you. So, tapping into the energy of the reading, I'm hearing the song Bag Lady by Erykah Badu. And she basically says, bag lady, you gonna hurt your back carrying all the bags like that. And she talks about how sometimes us carrying our emotions around like bags, like baggage, can sometimes weigh us down. Or like, it doesn't necessarily have to be just feelings. It can be things in our life that are challenging. It's like stubborn challenges in our life where it's almost like we feel like we need to walk up this mountain and have a whole bag on our back, and it's so difficult. Like, that's the feeling I'm getting here, whereas I feel some of you are, trying to analyze the challenges in your life. I feel for some of you, it's physical challenges in your life that are like weighing you down. Stubborn physical challenges is what I'm hearing. And for others of you, I'm feeling like you are maybe going to relate a little bit to pile 1, where it's like healing and rebirthing yourself from emotions. And I see here maybe things that have really hurt you, things that have made you feel like your whole world is falling apart, like everything is just going wrong. Maybe even people just not being honest with you, not being truthful, not having the best intentions towards you in the past. And it's like they may have done shady things or acted shady with you. And I'm hearing a song. I can't really remember what the song was, because the last time I listened to it was like in high school. Like, I don't know why I'm hearing the song, but it's like, boy, you a loser, or something like that. So I feel like this is, people from the past that have hurt you, that have, made you feel like they weren't being honest with their intentions. They weren't being truthful towards you. They were kind of being shady. It could have been friends in the past that maybe gossiped about you, lied about you, spread rumors about you. It could have been people that stole from you, people that cheated on you, like relationships, or weren't completely honest or true with their intentions. It doesn't really matter what happened, but like, I'm seeing that kind of energy of not having best intentions towards you or not being truthful. And it's like, now you don't look at it in the same way. I feel like what has changed about you is you're no longer attracted to people, things, or situations that are going to make you feel like everything is falling apart in your world, that are going to make you feel unstable in your own emotions. And it's like pile 1, you are protecting your peace, you're protecting your sanity, your peace of mind, your heart. And it's like, the change this person has noticed in you is you're no longer attracted to people, places, or things that are going to hurt you. Okay, so that is what I feel here with the line, boy, you a loser. It's like I'm no longer attracted to that type of feeling. And I feel this connection we're talking about for most of you is a twin flame connection, the person on your mind we're channeling. And what they have noticed about you is you becoming more balanced in your emotions as you heal yourself. And I think you've also been trying to understand and analyze and look deeper into those parts of yourself and why certain things were the way they were and healing from it, if that makes sense. And I'm feeling like you were analyzing the dynamics between you and those people. If you're healing from emotional things, it's like you were analyzing those dynamics. For example, I see something here about some of you changing people-pleasing habits, for example. You don't have to take it if it doesn't resonate, but like I'm seeing for some of you that where maybe you analyze the dynamic between you and some friends you had from the past, and you're like, oh, they're maybe like I'm a real giver, I love to give to people, but there I gave too much and I didn't get anything reciprocal back from that person, and then they just kept taking advantage of me. Because I feel like you, with the number 8 showing up 4 times, 8, 8, 8, 8, you have an abundant amount of love. You have a heart of gold, my pile number 2s, and that is something this person has noticed about you. But it's like you've been changing a little bit, where because you have this abundant form of love in you, you don't mind giving, you don't mind, sharing that love with people because you have an abundance of it. You know what I mean? And there's something here about maybe like non-reciprocal connections in the past where you analyze the dynamic and you're like, that person never actually valued what I was giving them. They never actually appreciate the abundant love I gave them. So what was the point of giving them that if they weren't even going to appreciate it, if they were going to take it for granted? Or, I can give you my own examples. Like I had friendships in the past where, later on I noticed, okay, I drove them everywhere. I picked them up every time. I paid for them every time. Like, what was going on in my mind? But I am a giver as well. Like, I relate to your energy a lot. I am a giver as well, and I give freely without expecting it in return. And that is that abundant form of love you have, but it's almost like you sort of had to analyze the dynamic and see, okay, here I gave this person a lot, but they poured into me too, so they actually reciprocated what I was abundantly giving them. And then you're like, okay, that dynamic there, maybe I should have set boundaries more. Maybe I should have spoken up for myself more. Like, let's say, for example, you had someone in the past, like a friend, that you were always there for, but they were never there for you emotionally. And it's like they call you and they're like telling you about their problems, venting about their problems, but they never ask how you were. And then it's like you analyze that. This is just an example. You don't have to take it if it doesn't resonate. But then you analyze that dynamic and you're like, I should have spoken up for myself there. I should have set a boundary. And it's like, maybe we should have, but we didn't know better. So now we're analyzing it and finding out how we can change ourselves, because it's like we can't change other people. We can't control other people's actions. We can't control if someone is going to be honest with us. We can't control if someone is going to be truthful and genuine with us. We can't control their actions. We can't control if they're going to get mad at us, if they're going to use us, if they're going to do this. It's like we can't control other people's actions. All we can control is our own and our own reaction to their things. So it's like, okay, maybe I can't control other people doing this to me, but maybe I can speak up for myself more here to prevent this happening in future, because I'm hearing boundaries is the best protection spell. I don't know if some of you use magic or do protection work on yourself or anything like that, but that's what I just heard. So it's like, you know, those boundaries and you speaking up for yourself keeps away those leeches, because it's like they see you respect yourself and you honor yourself. And that's just an example, but I feel like you've been analyzing certain dynamics in your life where it's like, okay, so if this happens in future, how can I prevent this? How can I see further into this? But also, I'll tell you now in a moment. Before we continue with your reading, I do have a small favor to ask from you, my pile number 2s. The last 3 months, 77% of people who watch my channel didn't subscribe. So if you've ever liked this channel, if you've ever liked the videos I've posted, if you like this reading up until now, can you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button, because it helps my channel more than you know. And the bigger the channel gets, the more content I can put out and create for you guys. I want to give you so much gratitude in my heart for all your support, all your love, and I'm sending you so much love, my pile number 2s. Enjoy the rest of the reading. As I was saying, it's like you look back at that. And it's like, okay, how can I prevent this in future if someone like this comes around me? And then it's like, okay, maybe that time I'm analyzing that situation, and that time my intuition was telling me that person's vibe is just off. And maybe my intuition was telling me that, but, you know, I never really took it for face value, because I mean, our intuition can tell us something, but it's not proof of that person doing that to us. So then sometimes us intuitive people really learn lessons to trust our intuition, because it takes a lot of courage to trust ourselves. And I feel this is my intuitive pile. It's like you've been becoming more trusting of yourself and your own senses towards people, because I feel like there was situations where your intuition was telling you people's energies were off, and then like maybe you gave them the benefit of the doubt, which is an amazing thing to do, because sometimes our intuition tells us something, but it's not necessarily that that person's going to do that. For example, let's say, I'll give you an example my boyfriend gave me. Let's say I do a reading on someone, and, you know, the husband is thinking of cheating on the wife, but he's not actually doing anything physically. He's not physically going out there and cheating. And intuition can help us prevent certain things. It can show us before the time, warn us ahead of time, but it's not absolutely tangible physical evidence. So maybe this woman gets a reading from me and the man is thinking of cheating on her, and I'm like, he's gonna cheat on you tonight, blah 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 blah, he's planning it with this woman, and blah 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 blah. And let's say she comes home and she's very off with him, and, you know, maybe she doesn't tell him, I know you're cheating, but then she's like very off with him, she's moody with him, she's not talking with him, and then she's like, you know, babe, I want to go out tonight, blah 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 blah, and then she's like, fine, whatever, and then he's like, does she know about it? Like, is she suspicious? Why is she being moody all of a sudden? And then he gets scared and he doesn't do it. And then maybe that woman thinks that that reader was just a liar and that reader was false. But maybe that reader just saved her from that situation. But what I mean by this is sometimes people can think certain things and our intuition shows us that they're thinking certain things or they don't have the best intentions. But they need to take action on that for us to have proof of our intuition. So what I feel from this is trusting and discerning when people are not having the best intentions towards you, and not keeping a guard up, but trusting that and discerning those people, being discerning of them. That's what I feel here. And I feel like you've been working on this where you can trust your intuition more with people, and whether it's open and safe for your heart to give that abundant form of love. Because I feel here you have a heart of gold, my pile, too. And like, you know, when we give to people that don't necessarily appreciate our love, it's like we're giving into, what is a metaphor I can use? Okay, Spirit is giving me an example of a leech. I don't know if you've had a lot of leeches on you, or like people almost drain you and like take advantage of your kindness. But let's just say, you know, you have a leech on you and you're like, okay, this leech needs something to feed on. You know, I'll let it feed a little bit, but then I'm going to take it off of me. And then, you know, you let it feed for a little bit and it's just like a parasite. I don't know if leeches are parasites, but I'm just hearing parasites. So like, let's say it's just a parasite and it's like this never ending hole of void, and it's like it can take everything from you because it's this never ending hole and it needs more and more and more and more and more the more you give it, but it doesn't give anything back to you. And then let's say you try to take this leech off of you, but it's stuck on you and it's like it's not budging, it's not going anywhere, and it's draining your blood and it's drinking all your blood. I don't know if leeches drink blood, but like it's leeching off of your energy, you know what I mean? And you can't pull it off now. And it's just like, then I see like a malnourished person where they're all drained of their energy and like that kind of energy. I don't know if you've had people like emotional vampires around you, or people that just kind of take advantage of your kindness. It's like, actually, I don't know why I keep having dreams for you, my pal twos, but I feel like we are connected in a beautiful way. And what I mean by this is, in yesterday's reading, I had a dream for you. And last night, I also had a dream for you where it was for me, but also for you. Because what I dreamt was a hobo came into my apartment and I was kind enough to give the lady some food because she was hungry. But then every day she started knocking on my door in the dream, and she was like knocking on the door so heavily, and she was like threatening me if I don't give her food every day, she's going to shoot me or she's going to do this to me. And then it was basically like I gave her something out of the kindness of my heart, but then she decided to take my whole arm, take my whole leg, come into my fridge, take all my food and eat all of it and leave nothing left for me. And it's like, if you've ever had people in your life like that, that are manipulative, that are like that type of energy, you give them a little bit and then they want to take your whole arm, take your whole leg. It's like, I see that energy here. I don't know why I dreamt that last night, but like I did. And it's like, you have such an abundant form of love that it's like never ending. It's an endless supply of love and things you can give people. But it's like sometimes people see that and take advantage of that. And I feel like what the point I'm getting to is, what has changed within you is now you are becoming more aware of where you need to set boundaries. Now you've become more aware of where you need to have a balance for giving to others, but also giving to yourself, love for others, but also love for yourself. It's like you've been creating more stability within yourself with the number 4 here showing up twice. And that is a change I see within you, but also with the owl showing up twice, you're trusting your inner wisdom and discernment, because owls is a representation of wisdom and intuition, and it's also a representation of discernment, and what is the word I'm trying to use? Deceit. So sometimes owls can represent someone being deceiving of us and our intuition showing us. And I feel like this is a change this person has noticed within you, where you're no longer attracted to people, places, things that are going to drain you mentally, emotionally, physically, and not give you anything back in return. But not only that, you're also no longer attracted to people that are just going to create challenges in your life, people that are manipulative, people that are toxic. It's like you've rebirthed something within yourself, and you're no longer going to allow that, because you're You're protecting your mental peace. You're protecting that strength within you. And that's something I see here as a message from your ancestors of the changes this person has been noticing within you. But not only that, some of you have been analyzing physical challenges within your life where they've been very stubborn challenges and it will not budge. And it's like, sometimes, let's say, for example, we have a challenge and we sit and analyze and we think so much about it that it doesn't go away. Like, we can't come up with a solution because we're thinking too hard. Sometimes we need to go to sleep and wake up the next day and we get an idea, or we come back to it and we get it right the next time. And I feel like some of you have been analyzing certain challenges in your physical life and finding solutions to it to have more stability in your life, but also it's like you're focusing on where to put your energy, because I'm hearing health is wealth, and it's like some of you have been working very hard in your day-to-day lives, especially your careers and your goals and things like that. But I feel like now you've been trying to become more balanced. I wouldn't say trying, but you've been becoming more balanced within your emotions, but also the physical, where it's like balance between love for myself and others, balance between work and play, balance between this and this. It's like you've been balancing your energy out, and I'm hearing health is wealth. So it's like, let's say, for example, you used to work a lot and you used to believe that in order to gain abundance, we need to overwork ourselves to burnout. Then it's like, no, how can we put in more time and energy towards things that are more important, that are going to be like a priority to us and are going to give us that abundance without us overworking ourselves. And I feel that energy here. It's like you've been becoming more strong, more analytical of the life you want to create, is the feeling I get here. And it's like this person has been noticing you become more balanced within all those aspects of yourself. Like I mentioned, like with love for others, love for self, work and play. It's like you've been balancing out your life. You've been putting structure in your life. You've been using that strength of yours and that intuition and analytical ability to create change in your life, to create movement in your life out of stagnant places. And it's like you've also been ending cycles that were no longer serving you. And all these changes are something where you're going to look back at it and be like, wow, I can't believe that change led to such an abundant ripple effect in my life. And with the lotus flowers here, I feel like you've been transforming my pile number 2s, even with the butterfly. The butterfly is a symbol of transformation. So this person has been noticing you transform who you are for the better, where you're more balanced. And that is the word I keep hearing, balance. Okay. And now you have more abundance of energy to focus on what is important. Now you have more of an abundance of energy to pour into the life you want to create for yourself with new creations and the Fool card. And courageously trusting your intuition, courageously trusting yourself, building that strength up within you, but also courageously going after the things you want. And that's also a change this person has been noticing in you. You've become more courageous. You've become more strong. You've become more of like this fierceness. The belief in yourself has improved and has grown abundantly. And it's like you've been starting to believe, I can create a reality that is like paradise to me, that is so harmonic, that is so beautiful and balanced and just full of new beginnings and full of happiness and joy and love and everything I want and abundance of everything I want. Like, it's like you've had more belief in yourself and the things you want to create, where you believe whatever you want is abundantly out there for you. And I feel like you've also been expanding an abundance mindset. And what I mean by this is like, let's say, for example, you are working and you change a limited belief from I need to work so hard that I get burnt out, to there is an abundance of money out there for all of us on earth to enjoy, because God, the universe, wants us to enjoy our lives, wants us to create our lives to be the paradise it's meant to be. And I believe that that is out there for me, and that it's going to come to me effortlessly. And it's like you've been reframing that abundance mindset, or, oh, you know, I can only have this friend because of this. You've been changing it to, no, I can have a friend that gives me an abundance of love, changing the mindset around it, if that makes sense. And it's like you've been seeing the world full of more plenty. Like there's plenty for all of us to enjoy. There's plenty for all of us to have. I deserve to receive an abundance of love because I give an abundance of love. I deserve to receive, you know, what I put my hard work into, because it's like I'm putting my hard work and effort into it. You know, like I think you've been becoming more secure within yourself. You've been becoming more confident within your self-worth and things like that, and believing you're worthy of these things. And that's what I'm hearing from Spirit. These are the changes this person has been noticing within you. But also, I feel like you've been bringing and attracting more loyal people around you as a result of you realizing these things and healing. And you've been becoming more open to new connections and, you know, your abundance that you want to get in this lifetime. You've been open to, you know, trying out new things, putting your ideas out there, putting yourself out there in your career, in your goals, in your hobbies, in your passions. It's like you've been more confident within putting yourself out there towards what you want to receive, towards the manifestations you want to receive. And this person has been noticing you become more powerful within yourself. That is the change they've been noticing, and it's a miracle, because the healing you're doing on yourself and your life is creating this change where, like I said, you look back and you're like, it's created such a ripple effect in my life, and a new beginning type of energy. And what I mean by this is, let's say, for example, you have an idea at work, and usually maybe you wouldn't tell your ideas because you're like, I don't know if this person will like my idea. But now it's like, okay, I'm going to put my idea out there courageously because maybe it can be used in some way. And then you do. And then it's like people are congratulating you. People love your idea and all of that. And I feel like this person is so supportive of your journey. Like, I feel like this person wants the best for you. This person is so supportive of your journey, where they want to share that abundant form of love with you. They want, you know, to have everything that you want, if that makes sense. And what I mean by this is, like, you know how I said you're creating a life that is like a paradise to you? It's like this person wants to create that life of paradise with you and put an effort towards that with you and support you through your emotions and all of that. So this is what I see here of the changes this person has been noticing within you. And I feel like they're just very supportive and happy for you as you create these changes within your life. I feel like you're stepping into Leo energy. For some of you, with the lion showing up here twice, where you're just more of this energy of putting yourself out there, even if you're not a Leo. Okay, some of you have North Node in Leo, whereas some of you have North Node in Libra, because I kept seeing balance. But take it as it resonates, doesn't have to be. You could also be stepping into your North Node energy. And North Node is destiny energy, who you're meant to become in this lifetime. So this is what I see in your reading. I really hope that this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi there, my pile number 3s. If you chose this blue lace agate crystal, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at the changes the person on your mind has been noticing about you. So you chose the card Deep Emotions with Unknown Feelings and Past Life Influences. Please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of your cards now. Okay, so for your cards, we have Healing the Heart with the Power of Self-Love. Some of you may relate to pile 1, or some of you are from pile 1, because pile 1, I spoke about healing the heart as well. But I think this reading is a little bit different. We have Wisdom with Learning, Joy, Art, and Music. We have Setting Boundaries with Threshold, Protection, and Honor. So also similar to pile 2. And lastly, we have Achievement with Effort plus Intention. For your tarot cards, we have the 3 of Pentacles, we have the Magician, we have the Chariot, we have the Queen of Wands, and lastly we have the 6 of Wands. Okay, my pile number 3s. Now that we have your cards laid out, I see exactly what changes the person on your mind has been noticing about you. So firstly, I'm picking up on this energy where this person has been noticing a change within the way you experience and deal with your emotions. Because I feel here, you know, you may have had people in the past really be like mean to you, really be hostile towards you. Put anger on towards you, put conflict on towards you, and I feel like something about the things people have said to you have really caused a pain within your heart, if that makes sense. And it's like sometimes the words people say can really hurt us. It can really leave an imprint on the way we see ourselves and the way we kind of experience life, if that makes sense. Like the things people say to us, especially in childhood. When we're children, we're very impressionable and we internalize things people say and do, even if they're not doing it from a place purposely trying to imprint that onto us. So I feel like you've been almost like taking out the weeds of what other people have said to you that have not been true, that you've kind of like internalized, and it's like you've been changing and transforming the negative beliefs others have put onto you. And this can show up in many different ways. An example I can give is, let's say for example, this is not someone doing this on purpose. Let's say you have parents and, you know, they say to you, money doesn't grow on trees. And it's like, you know, maybe you internalize that saying and create it as a negative thought pattern or belief in your life where you believe, okay, I should work really hard and, you know, burn myself out to get success, to achieve something. But then it's like, okay, now I'm pulling out those weeds of what those people have said to me and planting new flowers in my brain of what I actually want to believe and what I actually want my reality to be, what I actually want to create my reality to be. And it's like, I see here you've been working on rearranging and transforming your thought patterns in order to co-create with the universe the reality you do want to create, not the reality that has been projected onto you that you thought you should create or that you thought you should accept, if that makes sense. And that's just an example. Or let's say, someone told you when you were younger not to trust people, and then it's like you internalize that. It doesn't have to be exactly like this is just examples, but like you internalize that and then you don't trust anyone, and then it's like hard for you to open up your heart. Or let's say I feel you are people that feel things very deeply. Let's say someone says to you that you're too emotional, that you're too sensitive, but actually they were just projecting their own things onto you, where maybe they're scared to feel their own emotions because of things they went through. And now it's like a belief created in your mind. And like now you realize, okay, actually, if I feel things on a deep level, I'm experiencing the beauty of life, but also the pain of life. And I'm living an emotionally rich life because as humans are here to feel, as humans here are here to experience not only the good but also the bad. And like, I'm hearing no rain without flowers, whatever that saying is. But like, maybe you've also been changing that belief of yourself, like, no, I'm not too emotional. My sensitivity is my superpower. My ability to connect deeply to my emotions is my ability to feel and experience life and experience the full spectrum of life. And that's the feeling I get here. Or let's say someone put anger onto you and made you feel unworthy by the words they said, or made you feel like you couldn't be confident in yourself by the words they said or projected onto you. Like, let's say they projected their own insecurities onto you and it really hurt your heart out of anger. Like, maybe they said something really mean to you and, you carried that belief within yourself of, like, for example, I'm unlovable because of this. I don't know why I'm hearing the word like ugly, but you're not ugly in my pile threes. Sometimes I've even gotten comments where like I compliment a person in the reading and then they're like, I'm ugly. But like, I think sometimes when people project those things onto us, we can hold that belief, but it's not actually true. And I feel like you've been, like I said, with those weeds, you've been pulling out those weeds of things people have said to you from their own wound, from their own wounded self, their own shadow self, from their own hurt and pain, and they project it onto you in some way. And it's like you're pulling out those weeds of beliefs that you no longer want in your mind. And it's like you're replanting flowers of what you do want to create in your mind, of the beliefs. So that you can co-create with the universe's plan for you with the Three of Pentacles here. So this is what I see here of the change this person has noticed within you, where you've been rearranging your thought patterns, where you've been rearranging how you think or feel about certain things. And maybe someone told you to feel or think a certain way about something, but then you're like, hey, actually, do I really think this way about it? You know what I mean? Or maybe you've been reframing your mindset about your confidence. Maybe you are people that shine so brightly that, maybe people projected their own insecurities onto you. And it's like, it's that kind of feeling of, what Spirit is showing me, people that had like freckles, and then people wouldn't like it. And then now people would, put makeup on to have freckles, and it's like that type of energy. So it's like sometimes people perceive things some way and then other people perceive it another way, but it's not to say that the person that was viewing it in the ugly way was true, if that makes sense. And I'm not at all saying this is you. Like, I'm not at all saying any insults to you at all, pile 3. You're very beautiful people on the outside and the inside. And I just feel like with the Queen of Wands here, you've been reframing thought patterns about yourself and your self-confidence. You've been building up your self-confidence within yourself. You've been learning to love yourself fully, regardless of what other people have said to you, regardless of what other people have projected onto you. It's like you've been learning to love yourself again and build that self-confidence, self-worth in yourself. And that is the changes this person has been noticing within you. And it's like you've been choosing to follow courage instead of fear. That is the feeling I get here. And you've maybe been noticing how certain people would project certain things out of their own fear. So for example, let's say you want to go for a job that is very much unique, and it's like people project their own thoughts onto it because it's like maybe they never went after the things they loved, and you know, you are doing it. I'm seeing some of you are artistic. Let's say for example you want to start art, and like people are saying, oh no, you shouldn't do it, blah 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 blah, like this and this and this, but maybe they wanted to do it but they never did it themselves because they were too fearful of it. And it's like now they're projecting their own beliefs onto you that are distorted or warped. Okay, so before we continue with your reading, my pile 3s, I do have a small favor to ask from you. The last 3 months, 77% of people who watch my channel didn't subscribe. So if you've ever liked any of the videos I've posted, if you like this reading up until now, can you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button? Because it helps my channel more than you know. And the bigger the channel gets, the more content I can put out and create for you guys. I also want to thank you and give you so much gratitude and love for all your support, all your love. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the reading. So as I was speaking about that, it's like you've been reframing your thought patterns because it's like what other people say are not necessarily true. And especially in your confidence in self and your courageousness, it's like you've been learning to think for yourself. You've been learning to land on your own feet, see that strength within you, see your emotional nature as a strength, as a fierceness within you, as a superpower within you. You've been learning to maybe see your insecurities as beautiful, as the most beautiful thing on earth. Okay, you've maybe been learning to see maybe the projections other people put onto you as not true and reframe that into something you actually want to create. I'm seeing this energy of you creating your reality the way you want it, not the way other people perceive it to be. And it's like, you know what? I don't care if you don't believe in yourself. You're not going to project that onto me. I don't care if you're insecure in yourself. You're not going to project that onto me. And it's like you've been becoming more secure within yourself, within your belief within yourself, regardless of other people's thoughts or opinions. And that is the energy I see here of what this person has been noticing, the changes about you. And it's like, I'm going to create my reality to be the paradise I want it to be, regardless of what other people feel about it, regardless of what other people think or their opinions about it. I'm going to honor myself regardless of what other people think. I'm going to set boundaries regardless of what other people think. I'm going to speak up for myself and speak my truth regardless of what other people think, because it's your life and you're living it for you. I'm hearing that song, "It's my life, it's now on." So it's like you've been putting your life into your own hands, taking back the driver's seat of your life, if that makes sense, and you're co-creating with the universe's plan now. But also you've been learning deeper from your emotions, learning wisdom from it. You've been learning wisdom from the hurt and the pain within you, and it's like you've been speaking up for yourself more, releasing that fear associated with speaking up. So an example I can give, I think I'm part of this pile, but an example I can give is recently in my business, in my tarot business, I feel scared to set boundaries. Like, okay, let's say today I'm fully booked. I feel scared to say I'm fully booked because then I'm like, what if they don't want to buy from me anymore? Or like, let's say time is up and I have another client reading and I'm scared to say, okay, the time's up because they're still speaking, because I don't want to be late for my next appointment, because I'm scared I'm seen as mean. But it's like sometimes we have to let go of those thoughts associated with speaking up for ourselves and realize that those that are really for us are going to honor our boundaries, respect us, and are going to actually support us in speaking up for ourselves. Because otherwise we just have people around us that don't really respect us or value us. You know what I mean? And this is what I feel here. You know, I'm hearing some of you may have even been setting boundaries with family, whereas you never did it before. Like, for example, maybe someone in your family always insults you and is always mean to you, and you're like, you know, if you continue with this, if you continue doing this, I'm going to leave the conversation. And it's not like you're trying to control their behavior, but it's like, okay, I can't control what other people do or say, but I can control my reaction to it. I can control how I approach the situation. And it's like, you've been respecting yourself more. You've been honoring yourself more. You've been honoring your emotions more. You've been honoring your energy levels. You've been honoring your intuition. And it's like you've been honoring your own sense of self as well, and your own peace of mind. So this is what I see here of what the changes this person has seen in you have been happening. And it's like you've been healing your heart and nurturing those parts of you that needed that nurturing, and listening to your emotions, learning the wisdom from it, because each emotion teaches us something valuable and deep within ourselves. And I'm also seeing a peacock, so I feel like you've been really seeing the beauty within yourself lately. And I don't just mean this according to gender, but I don't just mean physical beauty. I mean like physical beauty, yes, the things about you that are physically beautiful. What I mean by this is like, instead of looking at the insecurity, you've been looking at it in a different way. It's like you've been taking out those weeds and planting different seeds of love within your own mind and within your own heart space. And what I mean by this is, let's say, you know, an example I can give is I was always insecure about, you know, my weight. And one thing I was always insecure about was hip dips. I have hip dips, and I started seeing it in a different way, where I started seeing it as like, it's almost like I have the body shape of a beautiful violin. Or, you know, I have tummy rolls. And recently I've started seeing it as cute because my boyfriend sees it as cute and plays with it. You know what I mean? And I think I've been also reframing my state of mind of how I view those things. And I feel like this is what you've been doing. Or maybe instead of focusing on what you dislike about yourself, you've been focusing on what you do like about yourself and building up your self-confidence, that feeling of, yes, I'm worthy of this. Yes, I'm worthy of love. Yes, I'm worthy of success. Yes, I am worthy of having someone that honors my boundaries and respects me. Yes, I am worthy of having people that understand me and care for me and honor my emotions and aren't gonna step all over me. You know what I mean? And that's the feeling I get here of the changes this person has been noticing within you. Because it's like, instead of focusing on the things we perceive to be negative, you've been focusing on more positive things and reframing your belief about self. And that is changing your whole perspective on self, but it's also changing the way you approach situations in the world. Because now you have more self-respect. You start to really honor your own self-worth and really honor yourself. Okay, so this is what I see here. And I see the message: people that don't respect your boundaries, people that don't respect your emotions and say mean things to you and put you in bad emotional states. It's like they don't care about how you feel. So why should you have them in your life? Maybe they're not meant to be in your life. And sometimes setting those boundaries, we think, it maybe will make people fall away from us or not want to be around us anymore. But only people that aren't going to respect you are going to fall away. And do you want people like that in your life anyway? And this is what I feel here. Like you've been finding the gold and the diamonds within yourself. You've been finding that treasure chest within yourself and started co-creating with the universe. And this is pushing you towards a place where you reclaim your power, my pile number 3s. And, the blue lace agate is a heart, and it's a healing crystal. And I didn't know why I was using it, but I used it. And it's like you've been also healing your heart. That's something I see here, and loving yourself more. And as you heal your heart, you open more space for deeper connections with vulnerabilities to come through, where there's really genuine love. You know what I mean? And it's not like there's no ego involved. There's no, ulterior motives involved. It's like real, true love that you've been opening up to. And this is the changes this person has been noticing within you. Because as you heal your heart space, you're making space for better connections to come through in your heart. Just imagine your heart as like a home to all the people you love. As you remove the people in your heart that no longer are serving you, you're making space for more people that are actually going to love you truly and fill your heart up with more love. And then your heart is just expanding. And that's the feeling I get here. You've also been creating a home within yourself, a safe space within yourself, a home within your body, loving the physical vessel that God, the universe, gave you, as perfect as it is, because it is perfect as it is. And that's the feeling I get here. I think you've also been finding more peace of mind, and you've been thinking about what reality do I want to create, and going out there and taking action towards it. You've been putting an effort towards where you want to go, where you want the universe to transport you to, and you've been trusting your intuition more and your own feelings more. And it's like, maybe other people won't understand my path, but I get my path, and that's all that matters. Maybe other people don't understand my dreams, but I understand my dreams, and that's all that matters. That's the energy I see here. And it's like the work you're putting into to where you want to be is like, it's going to be a lot of achievements, not just in your career, because I see you just like having a lot of achievements and harvest for the things you want to do, but not just in career. It's like you're achieving celebrations here where everything you've put work into is coming towards you. And it's like the universe is transporting you to a different place where everything you're co-creating is coming to reality. But not only that, you're learning the wisdom from your emotions and living in your truth, speaking your truth. And that is the energy I see here of what this person has been noticing about you, the changes. You're believing in yourself more, and this is just going to bring a lot of celebrations. And you're also just trusting yourself, your intuition, and your emotions more. And you've been following your own path without letting other people influence where you should go or where you should be. I don't know why I'm really drawn to looking at my Care Bear mug, but I don't want to show it to you, but like, it's like, this bear is painting rainbows, and this Care Bear is like painting rainbows all over, and he's not worrying about what other people are doing, because the other people are like sliding down the rainbow. He's just focusing on painting his own rainbow. And that's what I feel you've been doing. Like, I'm not going to focus on what other people think or what other people are saying or what other people's opinions are. Like, I'm focusing on me and my path and what I'm creating for myself. while I co-create with the universe's plan for me, and trusting that the universe has the best plan for me, wants me to live my best life. And this is the changes this person has been noticing about you. They're noticing you become more calm, become more regulated within your emotion, become more passionate about the things you want to go after and achieve, become more powerful in yourself and reclaim your power. They're seeing you completely change and transform as a person, where you have complete independence within yourself. And I'm hearing energetic sovereignty. So this is what I see in your reading. I think this person is really happy for the transformations and changes you've been doing on yourself. I really hope that this reading resonated, my pile number 3s, because I think this person loves you a lot and wants these changes to happen for the better for you. So this was your reading. I really hope that this resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye!